welcome back to Morning Express on this Tuesday, the 19th of November 2013. Thank you for staying with us. We are glad you're watching. Always a pleasure for us to be part of your morning. We had a very powerful interview. We continue to receive your feedback on SMS, on Twitter, on Facebook. Thank you for being part of the show. I'll be sampling some of your views later on as we wind up. But before we do so, there's a lot of good people in this world doing a lot of good to help those that need that help. Actually, that is one of the questions at some point you should ask yourself. Other than working and getting the money for yourself, what are you doing to make the world a better place for other people as well? And my guest right now joining me is Moses Ndung'u. He's a volunteer, Prisons Fellowship Kenya. And of course, you have quite a number of people in prisons around the country. He's working in specific with Committee Maximum Prison, helping those that are serving shorter sentences will be getting out in a while to be able to be rehabilitated and get back on their feet once they do. Moses, thank you for making time for us this morning. And you know, just one of those things I'm saying, because at the end of the day, you find so many people, you'll work, you'll do your thing, but at the end of the day, life is all about you and the people around you, your family, going to school and all. But for you, what inspired you to get started working with this?
Actually, let me start from campus.
Right.
When I did my 4 years at the University of Nairobi, there's one thing that kept on coming on my mind, that what will I do with my life after college? Do I go out there, make money, you know, live that dream life? But I decided, let me take 1 year after campus to serve God, and then from there I get direction of my life. What is it that God wants me to do? So that's how I started. I served in a church for 1 year. After that, they took me in for 2 years. Now, when my contract was over, I was so clear where I want to go. I knew I wanted to serve God. I wanted to reach out to people in the community. So that's when I met with a couple. They were engaged in prisons ministries and also reaching out to rural pastors. So now that's how I got into prisons. Yes, and actually it's committee maximum is longer sentences.
It's medium.
Yes, shorter sentences.
Okay.
Yes.
And what have you been able to encounter as you interact with these inmates?
It's very interesting that actually the inmates are just like you and me. They're just like you and me. They're our brothers. They're actually normal people. It's just that they happen to be on the wrong side of the law. But they're normal people. We have stories, normal stories, just like if I go lunch with a friend of mine, the same stories we'll have, and the same stories we have with them.
Right. Because it's interesting, whilst everybody at one point or another will do something wrong, we all do wrong, maybe smaller sins here and there, but they caught themselves in the wrong hand of the law. They're paying and serving their terms. So how is it you're helping them exactly? What work are you involved with the inmates now?
What you're trying to do is transfer skills that once they're released, they can use them out here. So currently at the moment, what you're doing is we're transferring farming skills to them, teaching them how to grow high value crops. For the moment, we are planting French beans with them. Okay. Yes, that's what you're doing, but we have line up a variety of crops that we want to introduce to them, so that when they come out here, those that want to continue with farming, they will be able to do that.
Are most of them in the prisons, incarcerated? Have they not had employment before? Is that the case with most of them, you find?
Yes, with most of them. One of the things that comes out clearly is a number of them have not gone through formal education. Yes, so they find themselves doing things that on the
wrong side of the law. Okay, and that is why they get caught up. So in essence, trying to just facilitate and equip them with those skills, so that after they serve their terms and there's something to go back to.
Yes.
I've visited, I think at one point I did a story at the maximum prison actually, and it was about the inmates on death row and just getting to interact with them. So these ones, of course, they know they'll be there forever, or, you know, but the ones you're dealing with are medium, and so they have this, they're looking forward to the time in which they will be out of prison. But how do they say they get by those days? I mean, a day, you imagine one day inside locked up, it's a long day, and so you imagine that for months and for years.
Actually, there's a term that they love referring to, is tunasukuma masiku, you know, tunasukuma masiku. But going there Monday to Friday, they engage in a number of activities. Yes, so they're not just somewhere locked in. There are schools inside there, which they attend if you want to. There's some who come out in the fields, like the team that I work with, teaching them how to farm, and there are other people who are there teaching them how to farm. And the prison itself has its program whereby they grow vegetables just to feed themselves. Yes.
So it's not a situation where you're just seated, and because on mind I think one can go insane just seated.
Oh yes. No, they just don't sit and wait, for morning and evening. No, they engage in activities.
How long are the sentences they're serving? The range?
It ranges from the people I work with from 1 month to roughly 4 years. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So how long have you been doing this for?
This one I've been doing for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Yes, now that's when I've been actively engaged in a committee, medium prisons.
All right.
Yes.
And you do this every day? Are you working as well, or is this what you're involved in fully?
I'm involved with this all my mornings, from Monday to Friday. Like after this interview, I'll be heading to committee, medium prison. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you sit down with them, take us through those mornings. You're with them every day. How much is it you can teach them? Right now you've talked about firming, some of those elements. But what is different for each day, so that you're not, it's not the same thing every other day?
Like in the French beans, it has a program. Like you prepare the land first, and we show them how to do that. We've partnered with Everest. They're the ones who are offering now the technical skills of farming. And then after preparing the land, that takes about 4 days, because you have to do furrows in a certain way. After that, you have to water the entire farm. After you water the farm, now you need to come and now plant the seeds. And there's a way you plant the seeds now. And in the process, what I do is interact with them, get to hear their stories, get to know their families, and generally how they're doing, how they're coping in prisons. And you'll be amazed that they're really looking forward to the day they'll be released, to come and now start engaging in the things they have learned in prison. So there's hope for them. There's hope for them.
And you find that most will also be very, very much in denial in terms of not accepting that they committed the crimes they have been accused or jailed for. They'll always say, somebody somewhere fixed me. Do you find talking to them, they're in that particular space where they continue to maintain and uphold their innocence, or have most of them come to terms and like, okay, yes, I did something wrong, and now I'm serving my term, and when I come out, I'll be better?
It's very interesting when you interact with them. They call everyone who's in civilian, they call them Afandi. Now when you go and tell them, call me Mose, so from there now they start opening up, and quite a number of them, they're saying, I did this, I did this, and I'm sorry for what I did here. So most of them, they're not in denial. They have accepted this what we did, and now they're in the process of now just reconciling with themselves.
Yes. Are there such programs for the maximum though? Because I'm thinking also, as much this is for the long-term sentences, those that are there for longer period of times. Do you know if there's such a program?
I'm not sure about that. Maximum and medium, they are two separate,
totally
different. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
but of course, then the prisons, the authority itself, engaging you in helping these people. Yeah. How do they help?
Actually, the government is doing a lot to help. For you to come to medium, some are coming out from maximum prison. So while in maximum, they are being trained carpentry, like the seats in parliament. It's the inmates in maximum who did them. They are taught masonry, they're taught plumbing work. So there's a lot that the government is doing to help rehabilitate them while they are in the maximum, because these are long sentences and you cannot just sit there the whole day doing nothing. So the government engages them in such activities.
Okay.
Yes.
So as we wind up, what is the message you want Kenyans to know? And as far as these people who are incarcerated, it's shorter term, but they're in there and you're helping them with the skills, as you say, to furnish them with those skills so that they're helpful and have something to go to after they serve their term. So what would be your closing words?
There's hope beyond bars. There's hope beyond bars. These are our brothers, and when they come out, it's very important that we help them integrate back into the society. Maybe one of the things that I did not mention, these crops that we're growing, they are for sale, so there'll be profits. So these monies are kept for them, so that when they come out, we can now help them with that capital to start now a life outside here. For them who want to continue with farming, we'll do that. For them who want to continue with probably carpentry, we'll do that, yeah.
Okay.
Just offer them that capital.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So it's the money they're making now will be given to them when they're done their sentences, when they're done serving.
Yes, in form of capital.
In form of capital.
Yes. So that when they come out, they can start a life. Because what we are aiming to achieve is, once you come out of prison, you will never go back. You see, because once you come out, Sophie, and there's nothing to do,
you'll get back to the life
yes,
of
you'll get back there.
Crime.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Moses Ndung'u, Volunteer Prisons Fellowship Kenya, thank you for being part of our show this morning, and we wish you the best, even as you work with this, it's men.
Yes, men.
With the men.
Yes, it's
at
men.
the committee,
Yes.
medium prison, all the best. I think it's one of those efforts to be applauded, and so all the best with that. And thank you for being part of the show. That is Moses Ndung'u talking to us about the work he's doing over at the Prisons Fellowship Kenya with the committee medium prison. And he's just, there's one of those very important things that you kept hearing about in terms of, and as far as helping others is concerned, and just the conversation we've been having with Moses, it's getting that people incarcerated to have hope. They incarcerate the prisoners to have hope that indeed after serving their sentences, it's not all done. They can go out there and get their lives started all over again, make a living for themselves, and indeed make the best of